You know what really goes well with a cup of cowboy coffee? A homemade coffee cake with a brown sugar crumble, and so easy to make. Woo, thank y'all so much for taking time out of your busy day to watch this video. We are honored and we are proud we are. And we are talking about something that I love to eat as a snack, as breakfast, as lunch, as dinner, even right before I go to bed. What is it? Coffee cake. Whew, you don't got to have it with coffee. You can have it with anything in the world. But hey, check out this new set location that we have built. In the other episode, we asked you, what should we add to this? Maybe hang some skillets, maybe build some shelves. Y'all let us know what you think, because we'd be honored we would. But today is not much about this as it is about what? Coffee cake, and I'm hungry. Say you go to Starbucks and y'all think, I have been to Starbucks? I do. I'm going to tell you two things you didn't know. One, I get a caramel ribbon crunch. Ooh, they are so good in the summertime, wintertime, and then I get a coffee cake. That is what is the best flavor.
But you don't like the coffee, really?
No, I don't like the coffee. No. They burn their coffee and then they sell it. So I'm just going to stick to cowboy coffee. But first thing we got to do is make that crumble that goes on top, that very topping. But folks, when you see that, you get that cinnamon, sugary goodness that's there with it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put it in our brand new Yeti bowls. Hey, these things are really nice, come in all sizes they do. They got a good lid on them, so if you want to mix something in there, take it to a party, store it, hey, you are good to go. It's going to stay in there. So the first thing we're going to add to this is a cup of flour. All purpose, that is. Get that in there. Next comes 3/4 of a cup of packed light brown sugar. Now, it's pretty cool out here today, so I'm going to go ahead and crumble this up with my hands a little. Make sure that there wasn't no pieces that are rock hard, because when it sits out here for a little bit, some of that will get hard, it will. So the next thing that goes in is a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Then we're going to use 3 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. Now, this happens to me a lot. I just open this in, ain't paying attention. You get a whole lot more than 3 teaspoons. So you make sure that you got this side, but also look at it, make sure it doesn't say cumin, because it don't really go well together. So about
Have you done that before?
I have, in chili and in cakes. We're going to give it in here to it. And you always want to make this first, so when you get the cake ready, you'll have it to put in the middle. What do we got here? The magical ingredient, Kerrygold butter. And they ain't paying me to say it. But anything that has a 1.5 sticks of butter, you have to have at least a stick of butter in any kind of dessert or pastry, I think, to make it worthy. So we got plenty of butter here. We got really good help today. Lou is on perimeter patrol. She's making sure that nobody comes up here and gets none of our stuff. So we're just going to sort of cube this up a little to where we can get it in here. And then if you've got a pastry cutter, you use one. But I'm going to stick with this big old fork that I got. We'll put that other 1/2 stick in there. This needs to be chilled butter, not just softened butter. And when we're cutting this in there, we're not really going to get it like a cracker crumb consistency that you've seen me do so many times on pie crust. We want to leave them little hunks, chunks of butter in there with that brown sugar. That's going to make that crumble what is really good, so bear with me while I get started. I knew I should have done this before we started. I need some upper arm strength to cut this butter in, so we're going to get over here. Folks, it's very important that you do your butter yoga before you start this process. You won't get near as tired. I would say we got that in pretty good shape. You can see them big crumbles that's in there. That's what's really going to look good right there on top. And when that cooks down, you get that good taste, but you get a little bit of that crunch to go with it. But we're going to move that aside. It's time to mix up the batter. You know what my favorite part of this recipe is? Yeah, homemade box cake. That's what I'm talking about. Now, folks, we're going to add some stuff to it. We're going to jazz it up a little, but this is not cheating. You know how many times on a ranch when I'd be gone 4 and 5 weeks and I'd have all kinds of cake mixes in there because I used them to make a cake, but I made it better. Turn this thing around, look at them little ingredients right here, and make sure that you pick them up also, because your cake mix may differ a little than what I'm buying right here in New Mexico. But I think we need to get this batter put together. We're going to dump this in there. Half a cup of vegetable oil. This one called for 3 eggs, half a cup of vegetable oil, and a cup of water. Is that right, Lou? Was it a cup? Oh, Duke, was it a cup? No, it wasn't 2 cups. It was 1. So we're going to get that in there. You know, one major convenience of not cooking on the wagon? Electricity. Ben Franklin has wired me up today. And due to this good cabinetry making that I have made, we have a mixer.
That's fancy.
The power tool is in the wagon, in the trailer, so we're going to see if we can find some beaters that went with that. Now if I can figure out, because I'll be afraid them things come out and run off. So, bear with me, folks. Whew, I'm liking this indoor-outdoor cooking. We're going to add to that 2 teaspoons of vanilla, a little dab of cinnamon, something you won't see me do very often, and that is what? Cook in a casserole dish. Now, folks, I want to tell you, all our recipes are converted from Dutch oven cooking to inside cooking, and vice versa. But you go and you click on our website, go to recipes, all them recipes are free. They're all converted for you to cook in the house, because may not be all of you cooking outside. So the reason I am cooking in this is we are under a burn ban. We ain't had no rain out here. If Shan will pan out there and look in that forest, you will see how dry it is. Folks, I ask you to please pray for rain for this old country, because I'm not asking for the benefit of us, but I'm asking for it to green up the way God made it to where it would be so beautiful. That's the reason we're going to have to cook this in the house today. So 9 by 13 grease pan, trickiest part of the whole recipe, trying to get half of this batter in here, because we need half on the bottom. And I would say we might be close. I'm going to get Shan's opinion up here in just a minute. I want to get this around here on the bottom.
Looking good.
I will tell you, I ate a coffee cake many years ago, one of the first I had, that had a little nutmeg in it too. So if you want to change that up, you ain't going to hurt my feelings.
You can also add pecans.
Yes, I have put pecans in it before too. So we're just going to go to sprinkling this around here. When you cut a coffee cake, this is a spot you see in the middle that's got that cinnamon sort of swirl to it. That's the part I always look for. So let me get this all in there. Make sure everybody's got some. So I want to tell you, you don't want to mess up this crumble. And you just want to drizzle back and forth, back and forth, back and forth till you get it all covered. And then if you need to smooth it out a little, you can. But that way you're not disrupting that little layer of goodness we got there. So we're going to see how good my drizzling part is here. I have got my concrete expertise trowel work on there, and I have smoothed it out to where it is smoother than a baby's butt. I mean, it is good. Preheat that oven to 350 degrees. Slide her in there. I'm going to cook it for 15 minutes, just till you see them edges begin to sit up really well. Then what? Guess what? Next comes the crumble. We're going to sprinkle it all over the top. Bake it for another 15 to 20 minutes. I like to always put a toothpick in all my cakes I cook to make sure they're done. But you're going to see it, folks. That crumble is going to be oh so good. Let's get it in the oven, because the pups and me are ready for some coffee cake. always hear on TV this was filmed before a live studio audience. Well, our audience has passed out and took a nap. I think coffee cake will really do them some good, maybe just the coffee, but isn't that pretty? Now, sure, I could have cooked that in a Dutch oven, same results and all, but it's nice to cook it in the house, bring it out here. I'm going to have me a bite. I can tell there is this crust right here on top. You can see that right there.
Now, why don't you tell the honest story about how many coffee cakes you made before we got to this one?
Well, I come in one day and we allowed we was going to do a coffee cake video. So I done me some research, changed up things a little, added heavy cream instead of milk, used sour cream in one of them. I made 2. Shan made 1. Now we've made another. So that's 4 coffee cakes.
And whose was the winner?
This one is the winner. I guarantee you, there's so much moisture. I think that's really brought it back to the yellow cake mix, the way it starts out. I think that's where you get that. This is a very easy recipe, like I say. You can make it for morning time. You can make it for brunch. You can have it for dessert at night. Take it to the church social, family reunion. Hey, it fits anywhere you gotta go. But it is with great pride, honor, and privilege that I tip my hat to all our servicemen and women and all the veterans that have kept that old flag flying over camp. We commend you all. And to our viewers out there, all of you, y'all are family to us. We hope that the good Lord blesses you, that you're getting through all your times of trouble. And if you be needing some healing prayers, hey, just ask the good Lord, He can get her done. But come on in here. I'm going to give you one of these good old coffee cake hugs. Starts out with just a little bit, and then you get a crunch when I break your ribs. God bless you, each and every one, and I'll see you down the coffee cake trail. It smells really stout.
Just taste it.
Oh my God, that's unleaded right there for sure.
I did a double brew, and then I even added some extra for the color for the video.
That right there is like 14 shots of espresso. If that don't wake you up in the morning, ain't nothing gonna get you going. But Shan, I wouldn't share.
It looked good on camera.
I wouldn't share this recipe with too many people. I'm gonna have another bite of coffee cake, drown that coffee out.